Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is John Wanena Karanja, co-founder and CEO of Melanin, where we are driving sustainable energy access powered by proof of work technologies. My presentation today at the Black Blockchain Summit is on how we can build sustainable energy ecosystems using powered proof of work and mining technology. So I'll be taking you through relatively short presentation, basically taking you through how the industry is moving forward in terms of Bitcoin mining and how we can address the challenges of energy access globally. I come from East Africa, and across Africa, over 50% of the population lacks energy access or access to reliable energy. Existing solar solutions face high capital expenditure, or what we call CapEx. So what happens is when you want to install a solar panel system in your house, many a time you need to get a loan from some entity, some fintech company, and these debt-based models are quite expensive because a lot of people, especially in rural Africa, earn seasonal incomes, so they're not able to make regular payments towards their leases and towards their loans, as people would often do in the West. So these debt-based models hinder adoption by farmers and consumers of these energy solutions. So I want to look at how Bitcoin mining and other decentralized energy systems can solve these challenges. So Bitcoin mining to date uses about 56% of renewable energy. And this is after 15 years of Bitcoin mining being a thing. And initially, a lot of the mining used to happen in China, the use of a lot of coal plants. But what happened is people began to realize that there's a lot of idle power sources, mostly hydro, that had been underutilized because it's quite expensive to transmit power from a dam into a city, which may be tens of miles away. So Bitcoin mining has come to sort of fill in that gap where these idle stations, in terms of distribution, have adopted Bitcoin mining as a way to pay for the costs of running the dam and pay for the investment that was made in the dam. So this is how we found that over 50% of Bitcoin mining today uses renewable energy, which is a positive thing. And I think the claim that Bitcoin mining is affecting the climate, that will tend to go down over time as more people or more entities, more governments begin to realize they can capitalize on Bitcoin mining and proof of work to drive the adoption of renewables. So what we do at Melanin is we introduce an additional component using what you call a CPU-powered mining algorithm that is auxiliary or sidechain to Bitcoin that makes it even more inefficient, more energy efficient because it uses CPU power to generate additional coins or tokens and subsidize the cost of distributed energy ecosystems. Because Bitcoin is quite industrial, it's quite huge, so it's used for the big industrial setups, like I mentioned before, the dams, the hydro dams. So we also felt that we needed to augment that through an auxiliary chain and use a CPU-powered model to give additional rewards. So you can think of CPU mining rewards through Wave protocol as air miles, the bonus points you get whenever you buy a ticket. So here are bonus rewards whenever you mine using Bitcoin. And this is called dual mining. Of course, blockchain removes trust barriers and it promotes the adoption of decentralized energy systems because the blockchain ledger is immutable. So all records are transparent and they are kept, forever. And people can always do audits and it becomes a more transparent way to create energy markets, because now these energy markets do not exist in silos, but they are governed by blockchain, which is a global technology. So at Melanin, what we are doing is we are integrating the Bitcoin or proof of work mining as a concept into solar-powered ecosystems. So we're marrying the two to ensure that we're able to distribute energy access, because the problem with energy access in places such as Africa, the Caribbean, South America, and even parts of the United States, you find there's a lot of sun, but there's not heavy adoption of solar-powered systems because people cannot afford to invest in those systems, and they're not incentivized to maintain those systems once they exist. So just like how Bitcoin mining subsidized the huge sort of energy installations, dual mining will subsidize the cost of the distributed energy resources. And as I've mentioned before, we leverage both CPU and ASIC technologies. So to go into more detail, so the WIFE protocol uses the ARM CPU-focused mining architecture, which is perfect for integration onto solar systems because CPU computers are small, they're easy to embed in solar systems. There's a lot of idle CPU power, and the people in the regions we're targeting already have access to these CPU devices to some extent. What is important is to maintain cross-chain interactions with Bitcoin, and that is why every technology has to be built on and around Bitcoin to enhance interoperability and subsequently to enhance market access. Mobile computing devices are also energy efficient. If you think about your phone has to be energy efficient for you to use it the whole day on one single charge. So that is the benefit of building on top of CPU-powered systems. Another key technology, and this is probably the essence of the presentation today, is enhancing decentralized mining using Stratum version 2. Right now, Bitcoin mining is centralized on Stratum version 1, which has led to a few mining pools, specifically 2 mining pools, mining most of the Bitcoin, over 51% of the Bitcoin. And this creates an attack vector where the miners can be sort of coerced into stopping mining, which can affect the security and health of the network. So what Stratum v2 does is it enhances miner autonomy and decentralization, making it more trustless, meaning you can be sure that no single miner is dominant within the ecosystem. And because it supports more decentralization, we can also now power the off-grid solar mining, reducing energy wastage. And of course, this will be also incentivized through the dual mining with CPU computing devices. Stratum v2 also has a reduced communication overhead, improving efficiency and security. And also Stratum v2 will enhance the adoption of mobile energy resources such as solar, wind, the small rivers, which are in many places around the world. So those now begin to become attractive as a source of energy and renewable energy for mining. The huge challenge we face is user education and upgrading of hardware to support individual mining using block templates. So decentralizing the hash rate to protect the Bitcoin network, as I mentioned before, is very important. Empowering small miners to avoid concentrated control is what we're trying to achieve in Stratum v2. And we are mitigating the risks of corporate interests into centralizing the hash rate. Furthermore, more technologies have come in terms of cooling, the mining setups. If you've ever been to a Bitcoin mining facility, it gets very hot, over 100 degrees Celsius in some parts. So there have been advancements in liquid cooled systems, which reduce both the heat and the noise made by these mining devices. So Bitcoin mining introduces high noise pollution whenever it's done in open environments, and advances in cooling technologies through using liquid cooled systems is coming to solve that problem. Furthermore, Bitcoin mining is also optimizing energy usage in mining. And what this does is it can allow the balancing and offtake of energy. For example, most energy is needed at night. So what happens during the day? That energy can be used as a resource for mining if it is excess energy, and that balances the grid, creating more reliability and stability in the grid. And hydrocooling and potentially heat recycling can also be used innovatively to facilitate farming and to facilitate heating of homes during winter in the colder parts of the globe. So back to Africa. So Bitcoin mining can bridge energy poverty in Africa by subsidizing huge energy installations such as the dams. Top of mind is the Granica Dam in Congo, the huge Renaissance Dam in Ethiopia. I think there are already projects going on in that regard to ensure that the excess energy is captured through Bitcoin mining and subsidize the cost of those facilities. Grid balancing, as I mentioned before, and integrating renewable energy as a resource into mining. So hash rate can be used as a commodity on open markets. So hash rate is basically a compute commodity, and that can be used even to power AI systems. We're seeing already high performance computing becoming important in terms of both blockchain and AI. And that's why we call ourselves a Web3 company, because we're using all these technologies to create an integrated solution. You can also create financial instruments through tokenization, indices to hedge revenue fluctuation. Transaction fees can also be coupled into derivative markets to make the markets more stable. Of course, through the use of automated market makers. Those of you who are traders or speculators would probably be excited about that. Decentralized mining needs open source solutions. So at Melanin, we pride ourselves in publishing all our code online for audits. We believe in transparency because these technologies are very important and they have to be developed in an open and transparent manner. And of course, this is one way to address centralization risks posed by proprietary mining solutions, including the mining pools. And eventually, this will allow for the creation of multiple solutions, which will create decentralized peer-to-peer mining ecosystems. So our goal is to connect the over 500,000 households that are already on solar into these decentralized energy markets in Africa and beyond. And the role of proof of work is very important in bridging this gap. And we are relying on the wide availability of solar energy systems and integration into other renewable sources such as hydro and grid through these open markets. So I would like to encourage all of you who are listening to download and play with this technology. If you go to melanin.click or www.melanin.click, you can download our latest open source software, which facilitates dual mining, cross-platform compatibility, is both energy efficient, and we are making it as user-friendly as possible. And we have done this at the Black Blockchain Summit for going on 2 years, where we have Bitcoin workshops. We have students from Howard and the nearby colleges coming to help us test these softwares and improve them in the spirit of open source collaboration. So that's from me. That's the end of my presentation today. And do enjoy the rest of the summit. Thank you.